Hello and welcome to Vidikya. So let's start with the analysis of the Indian Express newspaper dated 22nd of January. So the first news is Amar Jawan Jyoti War Memorial Flame R1 Netaji at India Gate. So this particular the recent two updates what we'll be discussing right now are quite prominent from an examination point of view, because earlier also we have seen passages in our previous examination regarding dates. So this particular news is also important from our examination point of view. So why this is so? Recently on 21st of January there are two updates. So the first update is that Amar Jawan Jyoti, which was there in New Delhi. If you have visited New Delhi, if you have seen that, so Amar Jawan Jyoti, if you've seen, as you can see in the photograph as well, there are four flames which are lit up, right? So now what the union government has said that, the center has said that they'll be questioning this particular thing, that this will not happen in Amar Jawan Jyoti. And now one of the flame, as you can see in the photograph, will be taken to the National War Memorial, which has been inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister in the year 2019. So why the government has taken this decision? Because according to the government, that National War Memorial, which has already been set up, is already there, and there is no need that there are two flames which need to be light up at different places, and both these places are nearly 400 meters away from each other. So the government has not stopped lighting these flames at Amar Jawan Jyoti, but they have merged both these with a single thing, that is under National War Memorial, which was inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister. So why these both the places are important? Because Amar Jawan Jyoti, which this memorial was established in the year 1972 after the war which we had won from, which wherein we have liberated Bangladesh from Pakistan. So after that, in the memory of those brave Indian soldiers who got martyred in that particular war, so in order to pay homage to them, Amar Jawan Jyoti memorial was established. And in that memorial, there are uh, in the four corners, there are four flames which are lit up. And if you go on any special occasions, you will see that out of these, all the four flames are lit up. But if you go on a normal day, you'll see one or two flames are lit up. So now the government has stopped, has said that nearly after 50 years, that this particular thing will be stopped from Amar Jawan Jyoti of the flames, and this flame will be taken to the National War Memorial. So the opposition leaders, the political parties of the opposition have criticized this particular step which has been taken by the government, and they have said that the current government under the leadership of Mr. Modi is trying to tarnish the image and our history, a long brave history which is there, and they are now trying to quash this, or trying to demean that. So that's why opposition leaders, including Congress Party and Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samaj Party, the leaders of all these political parties have criticized this particular step which has been taken by the union government. Apart from this, the government has already stated this thing clear, that National War Memorial that has been made so that not only for the Bangladesh war which we had won in the year 1971, but even after independence from the year 1947, and even the recent conflicts which have held, especially with respect to Galwan Valley incident, right? So those soldiers, brave soldiers who got martyred, all the list of all those people who were martyred, who have lived for our nation, who have given their life for our nation, the names of all those people have already, all those brave soldiers have already been written on the National War Memorial. So there is no need for having two separate places. And even the veterans who belongs to army, navy, there's a mixed reaction. Some of them are opposing this move which has been taken by the union government, and some are of the opinion that the government has not taken back or something, or this flame of Amar Jawan Jyoti. But what the government has done, they have tried to merge the Amar Jawan Jyoti and National Memorial, so that a single flame is there which will be lit up at this place, that is National War Memorial. And the second update is that a statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose will be unveiled on January 23rd. So January 23rd is important. As I told you, the days are important from our examination point of view. So on January 23rd, we will be celebrating in this year 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And January 23 is also known as Parakram Divas, right? So this particular, as you can see in the photograph, a hologram statue of Subhash Chandra Bose to be unveiled on January 23. So this place was vacant from 1968, this particular statue, and after Srimati late Indira Gandhi ji had quashed the memorial of King George V, right? So now, nearly after 50 years, the statue of late Subhash Chandra Bose ji will be unveiled at that place. So the leaders of BJP have already said that this step has been taken by the government. They have praised the Union Defense Minister, Union Home Affairs Minister, Union Finance Minister. All these ministers and leaders of BJP have praised this step which has been taken by the government. And this will be initially a hologram-based statue, and then it will be a proper granite-based statue, right? And this hologram-based statue, as you can see, if you go to a movie theater, you see, if you are going to a movie theater to see a 3D movie, then you need separate glasses for that, for the same, right? So unlike the case with this hologram statue, you need, this will be a 3D image of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji, but you need not to wear a separate glass to see this particular statue. So even some of the leaders have criticized, especially the West Bengal Chief Minister, Srimati Mamata Banerjee, has criticized this step which has been taken by the union government, right? So these two updates are important from our examination point of view. Okay, this we can skip. The further elaboration of both the news are given. You can read the same, you'll get the clarity. But we have already discussed both these news at length. Then on the government and politics page, INB order blocking of 35 YouTube channels over anti-India content. So this news is basically about the recent statement which has already been made by Union IB Ministry, Information Broadcasting Ministry under the Minister Shri Anurag Thakur, that those people who are already having different websites and on through different social media platforms, they are creating an anti-India sentiment or an anti-national sentiment, strict actions will be taken against the same. So last month also, we have seen that strict action has been taken by the government against a few of the states, a few of the websites and channels. And now also, INB Ministry had blocked 35 YouTube channels and several Instagram accounts and Facebook accounts of people, those who are involved in anti-India sentiment. And majority of these channels, through these social media platforms, were running from Pakistan, and some of the Pakistani journalists were also involved in this particular content, wherein they were mentioning, they were putting hate comments, so that in order to create an anti-India sentiment among the youths of our country. And if I tell you about the base, these people are having a user base of more than a viewer base of more than 100 crore views. So that's why they are creating a wrong sentiment. So that's why our Union INB Ministry has taken strict action against those people. Why this news is important? Because the government, here it has been mentioned about IT rules, Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code, Rules 2021. So this is quite important from our examination point of view. So that's why I have highlighted this news. Then we can skip this. Then we move to the editorial page. So the first editorial is a delayed tribute. Shifting of Amar Jawan Jyoti sets right an incongruity should not become a political controversy. So this is about the shifting, what we had just discussed, that Amar Jawan Jyoti, that the flame will be shifted from Amar Jawan Jyoti to National War Memorial. So the author has praised the recent step which has been taken by the government, because it has been in news that since post-independence, we are not having a separate war memorial. And in the year 1972, though we have this Amar Jawan Jyoti as a war memorial, but still, unlike other countries, if we compare like USA, UK, all these developed nations, they are having their own own way or a separate memorial in order to pay homage to their army personnel or war personnel. But unlike India, there is not nothing much concrete was there. So that's why after the establishment of National War Memorial in the year 2019 by our Honorable Prime Minister has paved the way to having a separate base wherein we can pay homage to our National War memorials. So apart from this, the regime wherein Indira Gandhi has also been mentioned about the same. And herein the author has talked about that some of the political parties are opposing this particular move, which has been initiated by the government. This is not right on the part of them, and we should not take each and every topic on a political front wherein we are politicizing a issue. This is not the government has not stopped something. They have basically just merged the Amar Jawan Jyoti with the National War Memorial. And unlike the government has also compared with other nations, as I already told you about USA, UK, which are already having their own war memorials. And apart from this, this step has been compared because even after the First World War and the earlier memorials which we have seen, they were because they were involving those people who were martyred in the First World War or the Third Anglo-Afghan War. But unlike and which includes the name of Indian and British soldiers both as well. So now we are having this separate National War Memorial, which comprises of only those people who are Indians who got martyred in the wars that we had fought. Right. So the crux of this particular editorial is that yes, the author is trying to praise this particular move which has been taken by the government, and is of the opinion that this issue should not be politicized by the political parties. Then the second editorial, climate and the Quad. Through tech transfers and investments, group can aid energy transition. So herein the author has talked about two things: the rise and influence of Quad. Quad is basically an agreement, an organization which comprises of 4 nations: India, Australia, Japan, and USA, which is quite powerful. And the author has talked that it's been nearly 2 years we are facing this pandemic kind of a situation, and in terms of economy, in terms of business, in terms of vaccination, in terms of everything, all these 4 countries are trying to get over with this pandemic kind of a situation, right? But still now we are seeing cases especially in USA and UK case, especially in cases in USA and even Australia as well, cases are increasing, and even in India as well, we are seeing more than 3 lakh cases. But if I talk about this editorial, the author has emphasized on the fact that last year we had held this first in-person Quad summit, which was hosted by US President Mr. Joe Biden. And next year also we'll be having the second in-person Quad summit. So the 2 areas where we need to, or the Quad need to focus after this post-pandemic situation or during pandemic situation, is about energy and climate action, because all these 4 countries comprise of a majority of chunk of population in terms of economy. So if I tell you, its importance is quite much. So all these 4 countries should unite, and through different frameworks in which they are already in, like the International Solar Alliance, wherein we have seen that USA recently got inducted in this International Solar Alliance and become 101st member country. And even OSOWOG has also been mentioned: one sun, one world, one grid, right? So through all these initiatives, that in order to cater the current situation of energy and climate action, all these the organization, that is Quad, should take strict actions, should unite, and calls for an urgency needs to be, or an action which needs to be taken at the earliest. This is because climate issues is at its peak, and so that's why we have recently seen this Glasgow summit, COP26, which had held in Glasgow in Scotland, and different countries have set their different targets. Like we have said that net zero emission by the year 2070, which is not an easy task for a country like ours, right? And herein the author also talked about that we should focus upon artificial fuels, especially if I tell you about the natural resources which we're having, or the fossil fuels which are there, they will get depleted year by year when as the population increasing, and all these factors are there. So as this next summit in the next year, Japan is hosting the second next Quad in-person summit. So Japan should initiate, and all these 4 countries, member countries of Quad group, should initiate and work towards the energy and climate action crisis, so that strict action can be taken. And the biggest issue what we are facing globally is about climate change and energy, can be resolved at the earliest. Then first opinion is Battlefront IAS. Center state face-off over amendments to IAS cadre rules has long-term consequences, calls for sober dialogue. So this was about the recent IAS cadre rules, which has been changed by the union government, wherein they have said that unlike state governments, wherein they are having more number of state personals or IAS officers, they are already there, and state PCS exams are already there. So there is an urgent shortage of IAS officer at the center. So that's why through two amendments, this has been said that government is empowering themselves, union government, so that they can at any point in time they can take IAS officers from state and they can deploy them to the center. So this move has been opposed not only by the opposition government, especially government like Maharashtra, West Bengal, but even the NDA ruled state or BJP ruled states like Bihar, Meghalaya, and Madhya Pradesh as well. They have also criticized this particular step, which has been taken by the government. So in this particular editorial, the author is trying to say that the government should decisively follow a step so that even the state government can be taken in loop, so that this deployment of IAS officers from center to state to center can be done smoothly. This is not the case if we compare the current situation with the 2014 situation, right? Wherein nearly 10% of IAS officers were there. But now, if we compare now, the situation is 10%, wherein if we compare it to 2014, then the overall persons were nearly 19%, right? So a lot needs to be done, as per the author, that states should be mediated so that this crisis can be resolved between both the states and the center. Then we can skip this. Then the first explained is the flame and an icon as part of the Central Vista redevelopment project. So again, this topic, Central Vista redevelopment project, is quite important from our examination point of view. We should make proper 360-degree analysis notes of this particular topic. So this is about the same news what we had discussed on the first page. First is about the nation's eternal flame of gratitude to the war dead, which is being shifted or merged from Amar Jawan Jyoti to National War Memorial. And second is about unveiling of a Netaji statue near India Gate in Delhi. And this, as you mentioned, Delhi's first Netaji statue, where George V. or 5 once stood. So this particular statue was removed under the leadership of late Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi ji in the year 1968, and now the same will be replaced by the statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji on that place. Then second explained is strategic significance of bridge China is building on Pangong Tso. So recently we had seen this news that China is building a separate bridge on the Pangong Tso. So that's why through this particular experiment, we'll try and understand that why China is going for this, or why China is building a bridge on this Pangong Tso lake. So we should be aware of that there is a continuous tussle which has been going on between China and India. If you talk about the Galwan Valley incident, or the incident which has happened in the Tawang sector in Arunachal Pradesh, or this Pangong Tso lake dispute. So why China is doing this? Because it has always been the intention of China to gain more and more territory, and this particular move will eventually help them in order to smoothen the commutation of their army, PLA, People's Liberation Army, from one place to another place. And if I tell you about the take of Indian government has already criticized this particular step, and this area wherein China is building the dam, it belongs to Indian territory. But from the year 1958, this area belongs to China, and India is not able to capture it even after that. So till now, it belongs to China only, and now China is building a dam, and which has been criticized by our spokesperson of External Affairs Ministry as well, Shri Arindam Bagchi, and even our Army Chief, Mr. M. Naravne, has already made this thing clear that if these developments will be made, then we are also there too, and we'll also develop similar kind of thing in order to tackle the ongoing dispute between both the nations. Okay. then WHO recommends reduce dose Pfizer vaccine for under 12s. So Pfizer vaccine, which was till now was available in especially in US, has given this use of uh, extended dose. Till now, it was available for about 12 years of age, but now WHO has recommended that Pfizer vaccine can be given for under 12s as well, but the doses will get reduced. Right. So basically the overall quantity which was inoculated to more than 12 years of age will not be the same for the age group between 5 to 11 age group. So this recommendation has been made by the committee, that is SAGE, that is Strategic Advisory Group of Experts, which belongs to USA. Then second news on the right hand side, US-Russia hold talks to stop Ukraine war. So another talk which has been held between the US Secretary of State and the Russian Foreign Minister with respect to the ongoing dispute between Russia and Ukraine, right? And this particular meet was held in Geneva in Switzerland, wherein the overall talk was consist of more than nearly 1.5 hours, where both the leaders had discussed the issues, different issues, wherein USA has talked about the rapid increase wherein Russian army is sending its troops to the Ukrainian border, and even Russia has said that it is not wise on the part of USA that NATO nations are getting involved in that issue which has been going on between both the nations. So this has been talked about. So after the meeting that has been held, both the leaders had said that this is we had a favorable meeting, and the Foreign Affairs Minister of Russia had made this thing clear that though verbal comment has been made by both the leaders, but Russian Foreign Minister has said that we are awaiting for a formal handwritten statement which will be made from US side or the NATO side. And even USA is of the opinion that the talk was fruitful, and in coming times we'll be having more talks so that this ongoing dispute between both the nations will get resolved. Then next news is CDC data boosters instrumental in protecting against Omicron. So this information has been given by Center for Disease Control and Prevention, that is CDC, that booster doses are helpful if a person is getting infected with this Omicron. So Omicron variant, though we are discussing on a daily basis, that is not so deadly, but still it is highly transmissible. And the symptoms it's having, it's basically a cough and a severe headache, which we normally see whenever the temperature is or the weather is changing in our country. But there are similar kind of symptoms that you are seeing in Omicron. So that's why it's becoming difficult to detect, and even more and more people are getting infected with the same. So, but with respect to doses, with respect to vaccination, we are already on the verge of completing 160 crore vaccine doses. So, in India, we have already initiated precautionary dose for 60 plus age group, right? And those people who are healthcare workers and frontline staff from 10th of January. And booster dose is a must, or the vaccination is a must if you want to counter with this Omicron variant. And not only in countries, but even in small islands like Papua New Guinea, or small islands like Kiribati. All these islands have also seen a surge or new cases of COVID-19 pandemic. So that's why it is a cause of concern that how we are going to tackle this particular situation. Then another news on the right hand side, Yemeni rebels say Saudi-led airstrike on prison killed 70. So the recent dispute which has been going on, wherein we had seen an attack in Abu Dhabi in UAE, which was by the Yahoutis, and then for retaliation with respect to the same, then Saudi Arabia has retaliated, and that airstrike which Saudi Arabia has done, that had led to the death of nearly more than 70 person, or that had led to the death of nearly 70 people who have got died with that particular airstrike. So then we'll move to the economy section. Yes, FTAs are two-way traffic gets competitive goel to industry. So FTA is basically free trade agreement. So our union minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, was addressing a meeting. wherein he had said that FTAs, the government is mainly working on free trade agreements with United Kingdom, UAE, Australia, Israel, European Union. So all these things will smoothen and will eventually help the people of our country in having more choices, right? And so that's why even this TRIPS waiver has already been mentioned. Last year, we have seen that India and South Africa has initiated with this TRIPS waiver with respect to COVID-19 vaccination. So, according to the minister, he has said that this move, free trade agreement, will eventually help in increasing the business of within India, and it will eventually help us in having more choices for those people who are living in our country. So here we ends the discussion of Indian Express. So now we'll move forward to The Hindu. Okay, so the first news on The Hindu is Amar Jawan Jyoti now merged with War Memorial Flame. This news we had already discussed at length, that the National War Memorial will be shifted, and here one name is there, that is on the third paragraph, that is Air Marshal B.R. Krishna, Chief of Integrated Defense Staff. He has a torch with the flame, and the Jyoti was carried with the full military honor. So this name is important from our examination point of view. You can make notes of this name as well with this topic. Right. So this news we had already discussed, that two events, two updates had happened, like the merging of Amar Jawan Jyoti with the National War Memorial, and about the unveiling of a statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at New Delhi. Then 35 Pak-based YouTube channels banned. So this news we had already discussed, that Pakistani news channels who are putting hate comments against India and creating an anti-India sentiment. Strict action has been taken against those people by the government, and this has already been stated by the Union Ministry, that if anything got involved, or if any person has got involved in such an exercise, then strict action will be taken. And not only in this month, last month also we have seen similar kind of action has been taken by the Union government or the IB Ministry under Anurag Thakur, wherein they had also taken actions against nearly 20 YouTube websites, YouTube channels and websites which were involved in creating a sentiment of anti-India or anti-national sentiment. And this thing should be clear, that majority of these channels were belonging to Pakistan, and they were having a huge subscriber base and user base, and which were creating a sense of hatred comment in our country. Okay. So now we'll move forward to the editorial part. So the first editorial, the ground rules of the one land of many. Today, some in positions of power in India seem to be questioning those rules, which makes it crucial to reaffirm them. So this editorial has been written by Sri Shashi Tharoor, who is himself is a Lok Sabha member of Parliament from Congress from Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. So he has talked about that, yes, we'll be celebrating the 72nd anniversary of Republic Day celebration or Republic Day. So he talked about how it took nearly 2 years, 11 months, and 17 days to complete 18 days to complete or for the framing of the constitution, and all those big leaders like Shri Bhimrao Ambedkar ji, all those people were involved in framing of the constitution. But the way things are changing even after more than 70 years, the way those parties who are in power, especially he has talked about the recent regime of Mr. Modi for the past 7 years, how things have changed, and how bold steps which have been taken, and the idea of India wherein a vision has been created so that those people who are deprived of resources, who are deprived of resources which are available in our country, can get equal stake in our country. On the basis of that, those things, this whole constitution was made. Then for the basis of the new citizens, or about the Dalits, or those people who are not having equal opportunities. So this whole constitution was framed keeping in mind that all those people who are there in India can get equal stake and can get an opportunity wherein they can represent themselves, they can contribute themselves in the society. But unlike this the case, wherein the recent events which have been done by the Union government, they have been criticized and said by the author that this is not right on the part of the union government of the steps which have been taken by the current government. Though in this particular editorial, he has not directly told about the current government, but he has said the kind of rule breaking which has been done, it's not right on the part of which has been taken by the government. And second editorial is about Indian-German partnership, which is there. You can read. Then first opinion is wrong remedy. States have rightly raised questions about proposed rule changes on IS, IPS deputation. So this news we had also discussed on Indian Express in the first opinion as well, wherein through two amendments, the Rule 6 of IS Cadre Rules 1954, the center is empowering itself so that they can shift those IS officers who are working in states so that they can deploy them to the center. But this move has already been criticized by the government. And why the union government is doing so? Because there is a scarcity of IS officers at the center. So in order to fulfill the requirement or the vacancy, the government has, through these two amendments, which they have initiated on December 20 last month, and even January 12, with respect to this deputation of IS officers. But as we have seen that few of the ministers, few of the governments, especially UPA government and DA government as well, have criticized this step which has been taken by the government. So herein, what the author is trying to say in this opinion, that this is a wrong remedy which has been initiated, and both the center and state should sit together and come to a conclusion. Otherwise, these two amendments will provide a veto power to center so that they can deploy any person who they think from state to the center as an IS officer, or who can work as an IS officer at the center. Okay, this we can skip. Then Amar Jawan Jyoti War Memorial merged, said by government. This news we had already discussed, right? Then Congress leaders say moving eternal flame is erasing history. So this is about the Amar Jawan Jyoti flame, which has been taken to the National War Memorial. So Congress leader, including former Congress President Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji, and even the Lok Sabha members and senior Congress members as well, even from Rajya Sabha as well. All those members have criticized this particular move, which has been initiated by the government, including Sri Randeep Surjewala, Sri Shashi Tharoor, and B.V. Srinivas, who is a youth Congress member. All these leaders, senior leaders, including Manish Tiwari, Congress leader, Lok Sabha member of Parliament, all these leaders have criticized the recent move, which has been initiated by the union government. Okay. Then pushback to change in IS cadre rules. CMs of Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh write to PM Modi against proposed amendments. So recently we have seen that the Chief Minister of West Bengal has written 2 letters to our Honorable Prime Minister with respect to change in these IS cadre rules. But now Congress rule states like Chhattisgarh under CM Shri Mr. Bhupesh Baghel and Rajasthan CM Shri Ashok Gehlot, they too had written a letter to our Honorable Prime Minister against these proposed amendments. And these amendments have been initiated by the Ministry of Personnel, which has been headed by the Prime Minister itself. Means the Union Minister of Personnel is our Honorable Prime Minister himself. Then global cooperation needed to combat terror, says Sri Lanka. Shringla. So Shringla, Harshvardhan Shringla is our external foreign secretary. He has made this statement that the recent events which has happened, and especially he had talked about the 26/11 Mumbai attack, and even the last week the event about which had happened in the shooting at Texas, and even the drone attack, the conflict which has been going in between UAE and Houthis, right? So talking about those, so Mr. Shringla has said that that global cooperation between nations is needed or is needed at the earliest, so that all these events which are happening or creating a problematic situation in the countries, different countries, can get resolved. And according to Mr. Shringla, if all these leaders will not come on, or all these countries should not come together, then it will pave the way for these terrorist organizations to work more without fear. So that's why this will create a more problem kind of a situation. Okay, this we can skip. Then 3.33 lakh new cases reported. So if I tell you about the past 24 hours, more than 3 lakh cases, nearly 3.33 lakh cases have been reported, and the majority of the cases have been found in Maharashtra, Kerala, and Gujarat, including Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. All these states are seeing a rapid surge in terms of new cases. So that's why the Union Health Affairs Ministry has already cited that the states should focus more on testing and vaccination so that we will be able to combat with this new infection, that is Omicron. Then the US-Russia seek to ease Ukraine tensions. So the ongoing tensions, as we had already discussed, the US Secretary of State, Mr. Antony Blinken, and Russian Foreign Minister, Mr. Sergei Lavrov, had a meet in Geneva in Switzerland and discussed issues with respect to solving this ongoing dispute between both the nations, that is Russia and Ukraine. And the talk could took nearly more than 1.5 hours, and no formal statement has been made. Russia said this: we are waiting for a formal statement, formal written statement from US side, so that in coming time we'll be having more talks and we'll be able to resolve this ongoing dispute between both the nations. Then at least 70 died in airstrike on Yemen prison aid agencies. So this is about the current attack airstrike which has been done by Houthis in Saudi Arabia, and then the Saudi Arabia has also UAE also retaliated, and then we had seen that more than 70% have got died in the attack which has been done on in Abu Dhabi at the earlier. Then booster shots key to fighting Omicron. So this news we also discussed, that it has been said by this agency CDC that booster shots are key to combat this new variant Omicron, and so that's why already WHO has recommended that states should ramp up vaccination. All the countries should ramp up vaccination, and even under COVAX initiative, we are sending vaccines so that people can get vaccinated and able to combat with this pandemic kind of situation. So here we end the discussion of both the newspapers. That's all from my side. Thanks for watching.